we're going to be creating a single point perspective landscape. The first thing we need to do is draw our horizon line. And a horizon line is that line in the distance where the sky meets the land. I'm drawing it a little low in my page, so not directly across the middle, because I'm going to add some tall mountains. I'm choosing to make my vanishing point right in the middle of the horizon line, but you can move it a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. To start with, I'm going to be drawing a road, and my road starts from that vanishing point and moves down to the bottom of my page. To give the illusion that we are standing in the front of the road and it vanishes off into the distance, we draw our road very small at the vanishing point and it gets wider as it reaches the bottom of our page. I'm then going to draw some trees. I'm drawing Christmas style trees, but you might like to draw a different style of tree. Now the trees that are at the front of my page or the bottom of my page are going to be really big. And then as they move backwards towards the horizon line, they're going to get slightly smaller and smaller. And this will give the illusion that they are moving off into the distance. I'm now going to be drawing my mountains. And I want it to look like the road actually cuts through the center of the mountains, because this reminds me of something that I saw on a holiday once. My mountains are also going to be quite tall and spiky, and I'm going to have them overlapping. So you'll notice that the mountains sit in front of each other. Your mountains might want to be a little bit softer, they mightn't be as tall, you might have a few more of them. I'm also choosing to add some snow to the top of my mountains because I always like the way that that looks. Once I've finished my mountains, I'm going to add some clouds into the sky. You might like to add some planes or a sun. You might even have it so that it's at night and maybe you want to draw some planets or something else. You can really start to add a lot of little personal details to your picture. It doesn't have to be realistic and it doesn't need to look exactly like mine. But what we're doing is we're making sure that it looks like our image is vanishing off into the distance. So that's heading towards that center vanishing point. Then we can start to color it in once we've finished. I'm going to color in my sky a really nice bright blue because for me, I'm thinking of a nice daytime drive along a very long road. You might be painting something at nighttime, or maybe it's at sunset or sunrise, and that'll change the color of your picture. But for me, I'm doing really bright, middle of the day, happy colors. I'm then just going to move my way across the picture. So from there, I will go with the grass on the ground, and I'm doing a very bright green. And with watercolor, you just got to remember that you need to let each area dry before you paint beside it or on top of it. This will keep your lines nice and clean and stop bleeding, and keep your shapes nice and crisp. At this point with your artwork, you can choose to make it as detailed or as simple as you like. I'm choosing to go with a real simplistic color palette and keeping them nice and bright and not having any real shadows and highlight areas. If you would like to add more detail and make your picture look more realistic, all you need to do is let each layer dry, and then you just individually add those little bits of shadow and highlight and detail areas on top of it until you get to the point that you're happy with your picture. To give the illusion that my mountains are vanishing off into the distance, my two front mountains I'm painting quite a dark blue, and then the mountains behind them I'm painting a light blue. Next time, have a look at the mountain ranges in your area and notice the colors and as they change as they get further away. Are they getting darker or lighter? Are they green or do they turn to blues and purples? How does it look in your area? As we're getting towards the end of our picture, you can start to think about if you're going to be adding a black outline with some black paint or maybe a marker, or whether you're going to keep it just as is. It's your artwork and you can finish it off how you like. You can also add patterns or different elements of interest into your picture as well. And there you go, we're finished. I really cannot wait to see what you've created.